Today I'm going to do a decluttering video on my palettes. It's a weird thing. I really was unsure about doing any decluttering just for the sake of decluttering. Most of my products are older at this point, though I do have some new stuff. Most of them are older, so giving them away or trying to sell them isn't going to be an option for a lot of these. And it's weird, I guess, with decluttering. I mean, decluttering, sure, you can go through and remove things from the space that they were in, but then what do people do with them after that? I mean, how much do people actually throw away that they can't give to other people or they can't try to resell? I know that the money's gone, whether I use it or not. The longer it sits there, the more likely it's going to be bad without me ever using it anyway, thrown away or not. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but it's one of those things where I have a hard time letting go of things that I paid money for, whether or not I use them. So, I am going to try to salvage some of the palettes to give away to friends and family if I think that, even if they might be old, that I never really used them. And that is the case with some of these things. I might have bought them and never used them. So that is a possibility. But it's kind of weird how YouTube works. Like, you start watching one video and then some other sort of thing shows up. And somehow I ended up watching like minimalism videos. Not that I'm a minimalist, not that I'm ever going to be or really want to be, but it started out as like meal prepping, and then it was like organization, then minimalism, and I have come back around to makeup declutter videos, and I was watching some of those, and I really felt like I needed to redo my palettes, only because like I'm doing 1 month, one palette, and as it is, I have to pick 2 palettes at least anyway, just to even have a chance to go through them all. But I don't know what I have, and I don't know what colors I have. So I'm kind of at a loss when I'm picking out palettes or trying to decide what to use, because I just have way too much. I have already started a project thing with my single eyeshadows to try them and get rid of the ones I don't like. 1 month, one palette is a similar thing, but it will be a much, much slower process in doing so. So I am going to do this declutter. Now, I don't know how much I am actually going to get rid of in this. I am, in my very heart of hearts, a collector. So, and that's the reason why I bought a lot of this stuff, is not necessarily so much for the love of makeup, or I just really had to have it because the colors were so beautiful, though that does happen. A lot of it is the collector in me that feels like limited edition have to have. So that is something to, just in general, I'm working on in my life, but yeah, so that's how it is here. I do have a lot of palettes that I bought specifically, likely for its limited edition status, and that's it. Or because it was the thing to have, everyone had it. Like, I don't think I've used Naked 2, but it was like, everyone was like rushing for it, so I had to get it. So I'm not entirely sure how much I am going to get rid of, because the collector in me just sometimes will not let things go for a while. But we will see. I'm going to pull out my drawers. We'll see how far we get. It may just be part of the palettes today, but we will see. So let's get into that. Okay, this is one drawer of eyeshadow palettes right here. It is completely packed full. It's a fairly deep drawer right here. So this is drawer 1. And I do have these 2 that I'm already getting rid of. This is the Cameo palette from my last year's very, very failed Pan That palette. This was in my 1 month, one palette
not the most recent video, but the one before that, and I did decide to get rid of this, save maybe like 2 shades. And these are the 2 palettes in my current 1 month 1 palette, and I wouldn't get rid of them anyway, but I am working on these, so I'm not going to really include these. So I have this one just sitting out. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I did more recently get this one. This was also in my, not this current month, but the previous month's 1 month 1 palette. While I wish I hadn't bought it, I'm not going to get rid of it just yet. The same goes for this. I kind of wish I had not bought this. This is the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer. The shadows aren't super unique, but they're actually pretty good quality. So seeing I have it, I'm going to keep it and use it. And this is just a Z palette of singles. I'm not going to go through those right now. I'll go through those a different day. I'm not looking forward to this, actually. I was really gung-ho, and now I feel very overwhelmed. This is not the only drawer I have. But let me try to organize it a little bit. I may pull out the other drawer, because I think I might do it by brands and see what I can come up with to make it easier. Okay, so I have those 2 drawers right there empty. There are palettes in other drawers. I have smaller palettes in some of those drawers, but I'm going to do these first, just so, in case I run out of time. This might be a million years long, so we will see. That is not all of them, but I do have a chunk right up here. So I guess we'll start with what's in front of my face, and this is the Sephora and Pantone Universe. I don't remember what year this is because it does not say on here what the color was. It was whatever their Nature one, though. Shades of Nature eyeshadow palette. So this is what it looks like right here. It was kind of cool looking. It actually looks like a laptop, and the box it came in looked like a laptop. The problem with these super large palettes is they're almost easier to ignore than like single shadows. They're just so big, you tend not to grab them over smaller palettes. It does have a good selection of shades, and I have used it before. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna set this aside in like a maybe pile. I'm starting off very poorly, but yeah, I'm gonna set this off in a maybe pile and see if I might want to keep it. It does have such a wide array of colors. It may be better to keep something like this that has all the colors in one than keep a bunch of little ones. So right here's the Kat Von D stuff, and this I should have thrown out already. I had decided to get rid of this in my 1 month 1 palette like a few months back maybe. I did not like it that much, but I guess when I was picking up I just stuck it back in the drawer. So this, like the Cameo and then that tray one from Sharina Tarantino, were casualties of prior projects, so I'm just going to get rid of this one. Then I have the Interstellar palette, and it looks like this, and this is so pretty. I actually forgot that I had that, and I forgot that I have had a lot of these, so I am going to keep this one. I have the Esperanza palette, like this, and this one is also really pretty. So I think I'm going to keep that one. This one I forgot I had as well. That is very bright. I'm going to put this in a maybe and see. Came with a liner. I totally forgot about this one. I've obviously used it at least a little bit, but I'm going to put that in a maybe so I can compare it to other colors. How many really bright colors do you need? This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Catwalk palette, like this. I think I am going to get rid of this. This is one I can probably give to my sister. It's not as old, and I maybe used it once. Then I have this Coastal Scents Revealed palette, like this. Looks like some of the black got mixed in with this one. However, I'm probably going to get rid of this one as well. Then I have some palettes from the Balm, and honestly, I think I'm going to get rid of all of these. I don't ever use them. It's not that I don't like the Balm, I don't use these. I bought these 3 at TJ Maxx, and I've honestly never really wanted to wear them because they weren't properly sealed when I bought them, and you know how people in TJ Maxx are, and they'll just stick their fingers in everything. So I couldn't really tell if they had their fingers stuck in things, but I've been a little nervous with it, so I've never ever tried these. Except for, yeah, I think it looks like something happened to that one. So yeah, I was always a little nervous about trying these. I got them for $12.99 at TJ Maxx. The Nude Tude, I like it okay, but compared to other neutral palettes, I don't love it. It is super old, so I'm probably just going to throw it away. I don't know that I'd want to give it to someone. And then I have Meet Matte Nude, like this. And this one I have actually barely used, so I might give that away. And then this Balm Jovi, I also have barely used. Someone may want that. I don't know. It's got the little gross little lipstick things down here. Then I have these 2 little Hello Kitty palettes. I have this one right here, and then this one right here. This has blush and eyeshadows in it, and it's just so cute. I think I am going to keep this. Even if I don't use it, I would probably display it because it's cute and I love Hello Kitty. And then this one right here, what was it called? Tokyo Pop eyeshadow palette. It actually looks like this, which is why I kept it in that box, because it's like this. And then it's got this eyeshadow thing that I think pops out right here. These eyeshadows were not all that good. I'm stuck. That hurt. These eyeshadows were not all that good. I may keep this little box and get rid of this eyeshadow thing. Okay, and these will be hard ones because I love Tokidoki. I think this one has 3 little palettes in it. Let me remove the tin. Okay, so this one has 3 individual little palettes in here. And regardless of whether I keep these Tokidoki things or not, I'm absolutely keeping these tins because these are really cool. But let's start with the first one. And it's just neutral shades that I have all over the place. Oh, I love these little packages, though. I want to keep the little packages. Okay, then this one is blue and green. Blue is not my color. And then this one right here. This one's more my color. The green and all that. I love the little package. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about if I want to throw away these little packages or not. And this is my second Tokidoki palette. Okay, so this is the Tokidoki palette in here. It's got another one of those tins, and then the palette is on this little cardboard thing. To be honest, when it's on a little cardboard thing, and I can keep the actual packaging that it was in, it makes it so much easier to make decisions. Let's see. These are not that great. Came with a liner, which I will put in my liners and discuss at a later date. And then whatever this thing is, nail file. Ooh, got stuff on me. So I'll take that out. And I think I'm going to get rid of this thing. The colors aren't that great. Tokidoki is just so cute. They no longer make that line. And at least not at Sephora. I don't know if they make it elsewhere, but I'm going to keep my box and just get rid of the eyeshadows. So I am definitely keeping the Sugar Pill Sparkle Baby palette. It's very hard to wear on its own because it's so pastel, but I love all these colors, and Sugar Pill is just a great quality eyeshadow. Then I have these two right here, the Pony Mimi Box palettes. Okay, and these are the palettes. This one especially I really like. Those colors are, I mean, honestly, probably in every neutral palette, but I really like these shades. I like the quality of them, so I am going to keep that one. And I think I'll keep this one too. This one is even more neutral than the other one, but it's got actually some really good, these are really good like crease and brow kind of shades right here, and these are matte, and then these over here are shimmery. I really have not used this much, so I do want to continue to try to use it a little bit more and see if I like it. I may get rid of it at some other point, but I do want to continue to work on it now. Okay, then I have this one. It's Skylark. I don't think they do this anymore. It was by Elle and Blair Fowler, and it looks like this. I remember this blue here not being that great, but I love that one. That one is so pretty. The rest of them are really good, but I remember the blue not being so great. So I do want to keep this for a little while. I guess I should take a day to go through all my palettes that have all these neutrals or majority neutrals and try them all next to each other and see what I've got. But for right now, I want to keep this one. Then I have the Stila in the Garden eyeshadow palette. It looks like this. You know, I think I'm going to get rid of this. I got this when they were still relatively new. And I remember seeing Amber F's Stila, one of the palettes that she was doing, and the quality had gone off really badly in some of the older ones. I mean, they seem okay, but I don't know. I mean, they don't seem that bad. I guess I'll set it aside and make a decision later, but I remember hers, the quality was not that great on them anymore, and I know this is pretty old. So I guess I'll set it aside. I got this for the green colors that it had down here, so I'll see if I have others that have green colors like this. Maybe I'll depot some of these and get rid of the rest of them, because like I said, I don't wear blue. As pretty as that blue is, I don't wear blue. Then I have this Smashbox palette. This is Shades of Fame, and I remember really liking this. I usually, you know, all these palettes have so many browns in them, and I tend to pick them for specific colors. In this one, it was Honey here and Sherbet. These were the colors that I bought this for, but I remember liking the whole thing, and I completely forgot I had it. For some reason, I have one called like Bees Discovered from Smashbox, and that is the only one I remember that I have. I am going to keep this because I love those colors. This may actually end up being in my next 1 month 1 palette because I love those colors so much. And this one, I love these colors and then this color along with it. So this was a great combination in this palette. And this one here I want to think about and compare it to one of my Urban Decay palettes. I saw Tati review this, and it was so pretty when she reviewed it. So I went and got it, and I haven't even opened it. Jewel tones are not my favorite because to me they always feel a little bit muddy, but this looks so, so pretty. However, I have the Urban Decay Smoked palette and the Urban Decay Black palette, so I want to compare this to those and see how it works. So I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. Okay, then I have two random ones right here. I have the Lime Crime Venus palette, and this is so pretty. I love this palette. Oh, weird. Weird. The mirror came off, or whatever this little front thing is just came off. That is so weird. Okay, well, yeah, that came off. Oh, alright. Yeah. I don't really care about that because I don't use the mirror. And I still keep the plastic thing on, so it's completely protected. These colors are great. I love them. Again, they have this kind of color right here. These colors that I love a lot. So I am going to keep this. And this is the Sigma Paris palette. It's been a long time since I've used this, but I remember really, really liking it. I might put this in an upcoming 1 month 1 palette to try it out. I don't want to get rid of it yet because I remember really, really liking it. That may change once I try to use it, but I do want to give it another shot before I get rid of it. And this is a Buxom Cream Shadow one, so I'm going to move that over to Cream Shadows and go through that some other time. Okay, I have some Tarte palettes, and it's things like this that kind of pain me. Things like this one right here. You know, I bought it because it was like a limited edition collection. I didn't even love the show True Blood. I only watched like the first half season, but I loved the books that it was based on, so I got it. This is what the palette looks like, and it was in 1 month 1 palette last year. And it's okay. It's just, it's so neutral. The only colors that really stand out in this are these two right here. This dark blue shows up almost black. That purple's kind of almost black. So these two are really the only standouts in this palette. It's just so pretty. Such a pretty palette. I had a little pull-out drawer. I don't really think there's anything. Oh, there is something in there. It's a eyeliner. Emphasize Aqua Gel eyeliner. I'll set that in with my eyeliners. I've never used it, but this is an old palette, so to be honest, this may be useless. But I don't know, you know. I mean, neutrals are neutrals, so they're no worse than anything else. This just wasn't a particularly standout palette. I just hate to get rid of this pretty, pretty packaging. So I will put that in a maybe, and I'll decide later. My maybe pile is growing. Okay, then I have these palettes. This is the Tartelette palette. And I mean, I have used it once or twice, but you can barely tell. I haven't really given it much of a shot. I have a couple all matte palettes. I got rid of the Meat Matte nude one, but I do have one from Too Faced as well. I think I'm going to keep this. I'll set it aside to compare it to the Too Faced one, but I think I'm going to keep this one. My next palette is this one right here, also from Tarte. Oh, what is this? It's stuck to it. Oh, it's just the eye tutorial. This is the Golden Days and Sultry Nights palette, and I bought this on a whim, mostly for this green. Right there, that super pretty green. However, I feel like I have stuff like this. This isn't that old, so I may give it away. Okay, then I have these M Cosmetics palettes, and these are those huge, what are they called, Life palettes. This one was the the Beach Life palette, and this one here is the Party Life palette. So, some of these are good, and some of these are bad. The thing is they are all removable. Every single one of these little pans can pop out. They came with a tool to do that, and I think I have like a extra little pan to put it out. So I think what I'm going to do with these, not today, I'll probably do it in a completely separate video because it's going to take a while. I want to swatch them all. I have a few smaller M palettes. I want to swatch them all, pick out the ones that I want to keep, put them either back together in one of these palettes if they all fit, or put them in like a separate empty palette kind of thing. So I think that's what I'm going to do with these. So I'm going to set these aside because some of them I want to keep, some of them I don't, but they are all removable, so I can make them all single shadows.